Hi, this is Coach JD coming to you again for another series here. Today we're going to talk about balance and the different progressions. Now in this case for baseball, especially for pitchers, there's a lot of planes of movement that involves in pitching in that during the 5 phases of pitching mechanics. So in your case, in our case presented that this guy is coming off a lateral ankle sprain. So the basic thing that I like to do is just start with the very beginning. So in this first stage is just simple single leg balance exercises, eyes open. You can pick on there. What you want to do is 8 to 12 repetitions, 12 to 15 repetitions, 4, 2, 1, and back down, and repeat. Good. 2 to 3 sets with 15 seconds rest in between. Now to go ahead and progress this and make this a little bit harder, then I can start doing with eyes closed and down. And again, it's down here. This is very basic, but again, in your guy, you're trying to reboot all those mechanoreceptors and their basic proprioceptive ability. Now also looking off that base runner at first, you're going to also be looking at trying to introduce head turns as well. Simply adding a little bit different to go ahead and work that vestibular system and go ahead and down, and then switching legs. The other thing I like to do, especially with pitchers, because on the mound, is go ahead and do the same thing with a toe up position and a toe down position. So again, go into that single leg balance right there and back down, and again go ahead and progress through your eyes closed, your head rotations, and then from there go to a foot down position. If you remember, that lead leg and that down position on the pitcher's mound is actually going to be in a slight plantar flex position. So again, I'm going to go through here. Again, I'm not producing any joint movement, but I'm putting the joint in a different relative position and going through my balance progressions. So that's your single leg balance progressions. Again, start basic, which is just foot flat on the ground. Go through your eyes closed, your head rotations with eyes closed. Go ahead and add both dorsiflexion and plantar flexion to it. And then if they're still doing very well with that, you could go ahead and add an RX pad in this stage. The next exercises are just simple reaches. Again, we're going to go through a sagittal, a frontal and transverse plane mechanics. Again, this is very important for a pitcher. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that single leg stance, and I'm basically going to reach, 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 and reach. And again, 8 to 12 repetitions, a nice 4, 2, 1 progression. The next one is just simply right there and reach. Good. All I'm going to do is just stay within that frontal plane and reach. Again, 12 to 20 repetitions. And now the transverse plane. Now when I step back, I'm going to reach back this way. Good. May get a little bit of ankle movement, but again, I want to try and minimize that. Good. And again, to go ahead and add difficulty to that, I could go ahead and do that in the toes up and toes down position as well. Again, in this stage, you want to keep it very basic to work on the basics of that joint compression to work those mechanoreceptors. That's Coach JD signing off for the stabilization phase of balance.